I've just made this print. If you'd like to know how I made it, then carry on watching and all will be revealed. So I wanted to make some backgrounds yesterday, and I thought I would try something a little bit new. So what I did to begin with was to put down a gold base. I won't show you how I did that because obviously you probably know how to do it, but basically it's just putting gold paint onto the gel plate, using a brayer and smoothing it all out. So that's basically what the background is. If you're interested in the paints that I've used, it's Pebeo Studio Acrylics, the high viscosity, and it's number 352, and it's opaque. That little filled in black square there means that it's opaque. The other one I've used is also this one, which is Art Studio Premium in gold, and I've made one or two papers. Some are tissue paper, and I have one here which is on copy paper, which is the paper that I used for this one here. I also used a combination of Liquitex Basics, and this is a quinacridone magenta and dioxidine purple, and I'll mix those together. Now I've got a variety of laces that I've used. This is obviously, surprise surprise, the one I used to produce this. So I'm going to use this one again, and it's nice and sort of ragged, uneven edges, and I quite like that. And I've got some more lace. This is a thick lace. It's quite a thick cotton lace, and I've snipped this, which is much finer. I don't know how that one is going to react. I have this one here, which again, a different pattern but very light. I think I'll try that on there. So I'm going to put a combination of the dioxidine purple on here, and I'll put some on here as well. And I've gone for this magenta because it's on the blue side of red, so they should go quite nicely together. If you go for a orangey red, it might not sit happily together, but the magenta and the purple should play nicely, hopefully. So I'm going to pop this down, and let's go this way. Oops. Make sure it's well down, and we'll try this finer one here and see what happens with this. Give it a good press down. The dioxidine purple has got a little bit of open, trying to move everything, open acrylic gel gloss in it, just to extend the drying period a little bit more, so I can move these around. So let's go. I'll use this one here. This has got the gold on it. And you have to really press very hard with it. My gloves are getting in the way a little bit. And let's go for the tissue paper again. So the idea is to really press down into where you can see the holes in the lace. And this is where using either an open acrylic or adding a little bit of golden open acrylic gloss enables you to work a little bit slower, be more precise in trying to get into all those little areas. As I say, I don't know how successful this is going to be. It seems to be swirling around a little bit on top. It's not sticking as well as it is on this. I'll see in a minute. So I'm trying to get into all these areas. So if you've got open paint and you've got an extended drying time, just try and go as methodically as you can. Don't take too long. When you feel as though you've pushed through as much as you can just lift it up and have a peep. There you go. Oh, I need to push it some more. I find a thumb is good for this. I have problems with my hand. I have a problem being able to push as strongly as I would like to, but even I can do this. So hopefully you should be able to do it better than me. Not going to think this is going to be very successful. It's moving around on top of this, but let's just use it to imprint the lace pattern onto the jelly plate. Okay, well, it's not too bad. Not really what I'm wanting, but it's not too shabby. And let's take this off. Could do with another press down. Okay. So there is the first impression of the lace, and underneath we have an even better impression of the lace, and I'm going to let that dry and let's see what happens here. Oh, you can also use these in your mixed media work. You could put it into a journal or a diary or an art book, so nothing is ever wasted. So I'm going to let these two dry, and let's see what happens when we are able to pull these off. So probably we'll use a gold. I might put a matte medium on top and then use one of these to pull the print. So I'll have a think and come back to you. I've left these for quite a while, and I'm going to this one here, the big one, I'm going to put some gold on it. I'm using the gold with the Art Studio Premium. It's just a little bit darker, slightly, I don't know whether it's thicker, but different consistency than the Pebeo one. I'll put a a little smear of this one. Oops, a little smear of this one on as well. And for this smaller one, I'm going to go with the Art Studio Ivory. There's probably a little bit of gold paint left on my little spreader here, so that's fine. Let's go with this first. Just a thin smear of the ivory paint. Put that on there like that. Wish you could see this desk. There's paint and papers and brushes and stuff absolutely everywhere. Just going to roll this out onto here because I can use this again. Whoops! And I'm going to put this on, let's put it on this. I'm looking outside in the village and there's lots of vintage cars going by. Oh, how weird is that? Must be some kind of Sunday rally. How wonderful, all open top. This is a beautiful, beautiful day. So I'm going to let these dry, and once they are dry I'll attempt to lift all this off. But in the meantime I've already got this little one and this to be going on with. This is really quite nice. Whether you can see that or not. But let's see what happens when I pull this. Hopefully I'm going to get something along. Oops, not that. That's something completely different. Where is it? Oh, it's under all this somewhere. Right, I'll get back to you soon. Just been down and made lunch and dinner for tonight, and I've left this maybe longer than I should have, so it could be that parts of the paper is going to be stuck to the jelly plate, but it doesn't really matter. It's not going to be anything I'm going to put in a frame. I'm just showing you how you can take a print of lace and really trying to see whether or not the thick lace works. Just turn this upside down and I'm trying to gently peel the jelly plate from the paper. And as I say, I suspect parts of the paper will still be sticking to the plate. Oh, this is getting to be like a gym workout. Okay, so far so good, but that could be famous last words. Oh, managed to throw everything out onto the floor. So there it is. there is really interesting lace pattern. You can do it in any colours you want, but I particularly like this as a background to do darker prints on top, so I'm quite happy with that. And I really like this ragged edge as well. So put that one to one side and see what happens with this. This is the much thinner one, and this is on tissue paper. So that is very pretty. This is just where the paper was folded over, but nonetheless that is a really nice result there. That got a little bit stuck down, but not to worry, I'll still use some of that. So yeah, that's the thin one, and this is the this is the one that I've done that I don't think you can really see, but as a background it's going to be a really interesting background. So let's see what happens when I do the same again, and this time I'll use the lace that I've showed you previously. If I can find it. Oh, it's on the floor. To get that in line for you. I found this doily again. It's one that I bought when I was in Spain. This is just a bit of the gold that's got caught on the brayer when I was using it. So I think I'm going to try this, and this will cover the whole of the plate. So I shall get some, I'm going to go for the purple and the magenta again. So I'm going to put my gloves on and get the paint rolling. I might have a try with this one here as well, and I've got this piece, so I might try that. Flatten that down a bit. Yeah, I might try that. Okay. Can't find my black gloves anywhere, so I've still got these. I don't tend to throw the gloves away. I wear them over and over again till they fall to pieces. I'm not going to try and smooth this out too much. I do want sort of lots of different areas within it that changes colour. So there's going to be streaks of a dark purple. And the same with this one. Just move it around a little bit more. There's quite a lot of paint on that, but that's okay. And I'll get some tissue paper. Try and be more gentle with this. The last time I did it, as you could see, it slid around a little bit. So try and be more careful with it, but it did seem to come out really nicely. And again, I'm using the dioxazine purple that's got some of the golden open acrylic gel gloss in it, so that it should extend how long the paint is going to stay wet. Now this is sliding around now. I stopped the recording mainly because I thought that the me pushing down on here could be wobbling the camera, and I don't want that to be horrific for you trying to watch and the camera wobbling or the screen wobbling all over the place. So just to reiterate that this isn't really an exercise in getting a pattern that's perhaps usable, although that is quite nice, but I doubt I can see where I can use that, but who knows. The idea really is to just press this down and get rid of the excess paint that's in between these holes in the lace. So that's really what I'm trying to do. This one is a lot thinner, and I'm sure that if it comes out like the first one, it should be really nice. So I'm going to take this off straight away, and I'm going to pull the print. I'm going to try it on some gold if I can find some. So I'm going to let that dry, and this one I'm going to let dry as well, and then I might just pick it up with some matte medium. So I'll let these two dry. I'm not going to go down and make anything else for dinner or tea. I'll just sit here and keep my eye on what's going on. Back soon. So I've pulled the doily from off of the gel plate. I'm really happy with that. I think that's a successful pull, and it's just using a doily that I bought on my travels. I'm sure you know somebody that's got these doilies hanging around the house, and you can find them quite often in charity shops. I think in America they call it a thrift shop, but over here we call it a charity shop. Or you could maybe have a look at your own house, or a mum or a grandma or auntie or somebody who might have these stashed away and don't want to use them anymore. So this was the first one that I did, and it's very dark compared to this one, which is what I wanted. I wanted a darker version to work on, and this is what inspired me. What I did previously, I didn't film this. This is the previous one that I did. So just to remind you that when you've got the paint onto the jelly plate, just using tissue paper to push through to get the excess paint up from the various gaps in the lace. So you get this sort of thing. You may or may not be able to use it, I don't know, but it's part of the process. That's slightly more successful, if you can see that. And these are the last few that I did, and I think they're really quite pretty, especially this one here, which was just the ghost print from the very fine lace. I think I'll experiment with this a little bit more. I like this fine lace, and I've got tons of it, to be honest, from when I did all sorts of creative things. Just to remind you about this, these are going to be offered on my website, especially for those people who don't have all the paraphernalia that you need to make these types of textured papers, using different backgrounds and stencils and papers, colours and paints and all sorts of things. So I've done it so you don't have to, and you can rip it or cut it, and all you need is a piece of paper to stick it onto with some glue. And also I'll be putting these on as well, which is watercolours with pastel and Posca paints. So if it's something that you'd like to know more about, please drop me a comment in the comments below, and I'll be more than happy to answer your questions or queries. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you will take advantage of getting your hands on these, I think, really nice textured prints to use in your own experiments. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you very, very soon. Bye for now. Bye bye.